Welcome to the Wormhole episode 18 featuring Oscar Ortiz. In this episode, we talk about Oscar's incredible journey getting into Stanford, as well as his experience as a chemist working in the marijuana industry. Oscar is a City of Indio council member, and he talks about the future of Indio, the policies, and the plans that they have to make the city better. Great again. I don't know. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. It was a great conversation. And as always, give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already. And if you're listening on iTunes podcast, give this a 5-star rating because it will help us out a lot, guys. Thank you guys for the support. Let's get started.
If I want to find the things, wake up in the morning, saw my face, I'm in the magazine. Word.
Tell us a little bit about yourself for those of you who don't know who you are.
So my name's Oscar Ortiz. I came from Mexicali.
You were born over there?
Yeah, I was born in Mexicali.
Yeah.
And I grew up here in Indio, went to preschool out here all the way to high school, and then ended up graduating and going to Stanford. And I studied chemistry there and then came back recently and started getting into politics down here.
So I was born in Mexico too. I was born in Michoacan.
Oh, yeah?
I came here when I was 9.
Oh, okay.
So I went to, since 4th grade, I started school here and everything. So I kind of...
That's a little tougher when you come in, because I think when we came in, we still had the bilingual classes,
Yeah.
Up until 3rd grade, you could have bilingual. But you probably didn't get that.
No,
huh?
when I started... English? Yeah, it was all English. So 4th grade, like math, I kind of struggled, with course, with like regular writing.
Yeah.
But I picked it up pretty quick though. By 7th grade, I was already having like honors classes and everything. So,
oh, nice.
So it took me like 4th and 5th grade, and then 6th grade. Then by 6th grade, I kind of understood everything, and then by 7th grade, I was already. It's honors not that hard, but
no, that's good.
So, but it's cool. Like you get the perspective from both sides.
Yeah.
And what made you get into politics?
I think it was probably when I was at Stanford. I took a class it was an art class actually. And we were doing posters for political. One of the tasks was to make a poster for a political protest.
Okay.
So I kind of started looking at immigration issues, and I started realizing that I had no idea what was going on, with the immigration issues out here.
You're just reading headlines like the rest of us, and
yeah, like we all just thought it was normal paperwork type of thing, and then seeing how many people were stuck in detention centers was really kind of like opened my eyes to see like how much I didn't know, about my own community. And so after that, I kind of like wanted to stay involved with issues, and I kept reading up on current issues on federal, state, and local and everything. Yeah. And then moving to LA, getting into that culture out there was tons of activism there, and there was the Black Lives Matter movement was going on. Stuff. Yeah, and there was a lot of out there. The movement's been so strong since the 60s, or probably before that. So we had a lot of people that were there through the 60s, and teaching us like how the history of
everything that's been going on.
Yeah.
So that's why it inspired you. And definitely. So what do you do? I know you just won in November, right? You won. What position do you have with the city council, or what is it?
Yeah, city council member now. So I'm one of 5 city council members in Indio.
So you guys discuss like the local politics and policies and
so any policy changes or big developments going on usually have to go through a few commissions, but ultimately the city council. So you have to get 3 out of 5 votes to get anything through.
Oh, okay. So it's just like a small, I guess, Congress or House of Representatives for local bills and
for
stuff.
City issues. Yeah.
So just the City of Indio.
Yeah, City of Indio.
That's good. And you think when did you decide to run? You're like, I'm gonna start doing my own campaign.
Yeah. Well, I think we came back about 2.5 years ago, and I really just started going to meetings, city council meetings, and started getting involved with different organizations, seeing what work was already being done, right, and just trying to help, getting involved, trying to help. But it seemed like when we were going to city council meetings, when it came to the tough issues, we couldn't really get into the conversation. A lot of the times, we'd go, you have your 3 minutes, but other than that, that's it. Nobody really responds to you, or they won't set up any meetings with us. They wouldn't really hear us out. And at first, it was for me because I came from the cannabis industry, and that was a big topic at the time. So I wanted to get involved and help out and bring that perspective from the industry. And we couldn't really get any meetings, so we just kept coming, over and over.
What do you mean you came from the cannabis industry? What do you mean by that?
So I've been in the cannabis industry for about 5 years now.
Oh,
So I started off, when I graduated with my degree in chemistry, I started off in pharmaceuticals.
Oh, okay.
So I would do quality control in pharmaceutical settings, or I was producing radioactive materials for like UCLA and the Veterans Hospital in LA.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so we were doing a lot of different things. But then I kind of looked at the cannabis industry, and I found a lab that was working in the cannabis industry, and they were doing quality control, the same quality control that I was doing for pharmaceuticals. They were doing it for cannabis.
So you're doing, more...
Yeah, so I got into that, and then we started, getting into producing new products and developing new methods for purification and really just bringing that industry to another level. You know?
No, it's taking over, especially here. Well, anywhere in California, but here there's so many shops. And what does it take? Like, if somebody wants to open a cannabis shop, or what licenses and stuff do you? I've always been curious about that.
First of all, you need to get a state license,
Like
and that can be pretty expensive already, right? Like $20,000, something like that. And then it depends on the city that you're in too. You know, you have to be in the right zone. You have to pay the city fees. And, and it gets really complicated. I think a lot of people started getting pushed out because, you know, once something gets zoned for the industry, the rent goes up like crazy. It's not now, instead of, you know, $2,500, now you got to pay $7,500.
Oh, damn.
And that prices out a lot of the small business, you know?
Yeah.
And then plus all the fees coming on and all the taxes.
Yeah, because there's not that many shops in Indio.
Yeah.
Is that one of the reasons?
There is no shops in Indio. Yeah.
Zero?
Yeah. So when we were coming to those conversations, the end of the conversation was always, we're not going to do it. We're not going to allow anybody to do any kind of business here. And to us, you know, seeing the whole industry grow around us.
Why? Why don't they want to push that? Because it's going to bring prices up or
I think they saw it as bringing more issues to us, you know, more crime. And to us, we were seeing that as, well, the black market brings more crime, right?
No, it's the black market, and also people from India are shopping everywhere else. It's not like they're just, there's no shops in India, I'm just going to stop buying.
And we already see that with regular businesses, right? So we have a large leak rate, is what they call it, that a lot of our residents go spend money in other cities. Yeah. Which affects us negatively because we don't get that tax, you know? Exactly. We're actually talking about that recently, of making a small, like, pictograph showing up how when you spend money in India, that money goes to your parks, to your roads, you know, all that kind of
that's really interesting, because not only just supporting small business, because we always go eat somewhere else, or people, there's more like hubs outside of India, like you go to La Quinta, you go to the river, you want to make it more centralized, so people from India stay in India. And like for downtown, I've seen there's a little more of like downtown India, there's a little more activity going on.
Yeah, they're working on it.
Are you guys working on more?
Yeah, definitely. And pretty soon we'll be having our downtown specific plan coming out. And that will invite the community for input on that as well.
Yeah, because I really like what the city of Coachella is doing with, like, there's so many new restaurants. Yeah. They just make it look really nice.
That park, they have the new park. It looks amazing.
That park's good. And my family owns the One Stop Shop over there in India, and they're always like doing events in Coachella. But
there's good tacos right there, man.
Yeah.
So One-stop shop.
Well, we're renting it out. We don't own the place, but we have the taco shop, and we're always doing events for the city of Coachella, but there's never really events for Indio, besides the big festivals, of course.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're coming.
No, that's good, because I'm definitely, like, for me, I went to high school, I played football at Indio, and for me, like, I always wanted to, I even volunteered, I coached for 3 years, volunteering my time just to help out the kids, because when I coached, I went to play at COD, and then I learned so much stuff there, and I wanted to just give back a little bit.
Yeah. What'd you play?
I was at Indio. I was a left tackle on the offensive line. I was offensive lineman, and then at COD I was a guard and a center. Okay. But mostly a guard. So it was it was so much fun. But I'm not like 6'5", so I was in.
You weren't gonna go pro or
nothing. So I was self-aware too. So I had to. For me being smaller, I had to like try harder, pay attention to film, because
hit that weight room.
Hit the weight room. So I didn't have the natural gifts like all these other dudes. So I had to work a little harder. But I was just trying to give back to the community, because I just love the city, you know. And that's good. I've been noticing this little changes coming in India, and it's good if more stuff is implemented. What's so okay, you got into the cannabis industry, and then how did you get into the politics? So
so we were really, you know, trying to get into the conversation and bring a different perspective, and really help build, you know, what the policy would be for India. Yeah. But it always just got shut down, and it was like nothing was going to happen, right? And then we started getting the immigration issue started becoming a hot topic, you know, in nationally. Yeah. And so we were asking, you know, let's have a meeting. At least I was asking for a meeting so we could discuss what are the laws in India and relay that information to the community. And they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't have it. You know, they didn't even want to have a community meeting with us.
That's crazy.
They say, you know, it's a federal issue. It has nothing to do with us. And to us, you know, that wasn't acceptable. And you have human rights violations happening in your own community. You can't just be silent.
Especially with the community that we have. Like, there's so many people like us that would come here as a young age, or our parents, or people that we know. Yeah. So,
and really, like, when we look at it, our community's been benefiting from undocumented immigrants for a long time, right?
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of our businesses have been profiting off of that work for a long time, so we can't just turn around on this community and just leave it up to, you know, to what's going on now. Like,
you have to take action. It all starts locally. We of course we want the government to do more national policies, but it all starts as well as your local city, your local
There's things
counties
that we could do here, to help.
So what kind? Are you guys working on stuff right now?
Yeah.
Ever since.
Yeah, we actually had a meeting a couple weeks ago. We had a 7-hour meeting where we're prioritizing everything for the city, and that was one of the issues that I brought up with immigration and having a conversation, because I think right now, a lot of people they were asking for sanctuary city.
Yeah.
So in India, we have those laws already, right? We already have those laws in place, although we're not labeled as a sanctuary city.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it was like, convey that information if that's what it is, because out here we don't hear that. We used to hear a lot of racism coming from even people in office around here.
Yeah, I saw some articles that the mayor of India was saying that he didn't want India to be a sanctuary city or something like that.
Yeah.
There was a lot of backlash towards him. So is it the same one that's still in place?
Well, he's out of office now.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Yeah.
And that's why we came in. Like we weren't going to take that.
No,
we're not. We're not going to be looked down upon, or we don't want our community looked down upon because of that. Because we know that they've contributed so much work to our community and to building our everything, right? Everything that we have here.
Yes.
A lot of it was based on documented work. So we're not going to turn our
backs to the majority,
especially with how bad the situation is. With the human rights violations happening right now, there's no way we can stay quiet when this is happening.
It has to be one of the forefront issues for sure.
Yeah.
And what other policies are you guys working on for the city right now that we should be looking out for?
As far as we just in that meeting that I was talking about, when we were prioritizing everything, we kind of split up what study sessions are going to be coming up. So a study session is kind of like a community meeting.
Yeah.
Where some members are chosen to come and present information to us and kind of educate us on different subjects. And then we kind of go from there, right? Start building policy from there. But we all, the whole council and the community gets to hear the same information. So we all can kind of get on the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then go from there. So we kind of organize those. And some of the things coming up right now is a general plan. So the general plan is kind of a 20-year plan for the city. So it's a long, big document, where we're going in the next 20, as far as we can tell from now.
The north side of Indio, it's been growing so, I was driving there the other day, and I was thinking they have almost every store that you need. Like, you don't even need to cross to, old Indio, past the freeway. They have Winco, Walmart, they have everything there,
Yeah.
And, I also heard they were trying to build a movie theater in India or something like that.
Yeah, they're working on it now.
Where's the location going to be at?
That one's in North Indio as well. I think it's near the Walmart Center out there.
Oh, by the Walmart Center?
Yeah, it's going to be called Maya Cinemas.
Maya Cinemas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that some months ago, and I was like, well, that's better, because the Metro A, that one just went downhill really bad. Nobody really goes to that anymore. Do you know what was the future plans for Metro 8? That says you're going to be taking out building the new...
I think they're pretty far away from each other, so I don't think it's going to affect too much there.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if the Metro 8 will get renovated or...
Yeah, because, just as Regal Theater in general, because also the Rancho 16, that one's kind of... People don't go to those anymore, especially with the new recliner seating.
I don't know.
You still go there?
Yeah.
No, every time I try to buy tickets, it's either, I was telling you, I was a movie collector, so I used to go watch a lot of movies.
Yeah. And
every time I try to get tickets, La Quinta and the River freaking sold out. And then whenever I can't go there, and I go to Rancho 16 or Metro 8, and then it's always empty. That's just from my personal experience.
Yeah. No, I just went last night, too, and it was kind of empty, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
We probably need a new... If that one's going to bring a lot of... There's a lot of room in the Walmart area for a lot of... There's a lot of shops already in development.
Yeah. Yeah, they're coming in. Yeah, and we're looking at too for the downtown area. Like I said, the specific plan is going to be coming up soon. So we're going to be looking for community input on that too, on what kind of businesses people want to see down there.
Yeah, maybe some bars or something for millennials, for the younger generation, because there really isn't anything besides, I guess, Applebee's. I go to Applebee's all the time.
Oh yeah.
But besides that, there's nothing for how in Coachella you have a couple bars already, Coachella bars, stuff like that. Yeah. Because that's what kind of we want. For us young people, we have to go all the way to Palm Springs to have a good time, a little club, nightclub, whatever. And there's nothing here in Indio or east side of the valley, how we're discussing earlier.
And then I think part of that problem seems to be there's some lack of infrastructure, right? So some of the buildings downtown, they don't have what's
safety.
necessary to have a restaurant, right? So part of it's like the grease trap, which is, you know,
Yeah.
a couple $1,000s or whatever, but that kind of slows down when somebody's looking to buy a property.
They have to upgrade everything.
Yeah, they're looking at the upgrade cost too up front. So it's like, do we help them? Does the city cover it and like put it on the rent, or like is the city owned? And yeah. So, but we're looking at a lot of different buildings and what's going to happen down there. A lot of it's going to be shifting though. It seems like there's going to be a lot of movement down there pretty soon.
Okay, good. So it's just downtown or other parts of India as well?
I think. Well, we're seeing, you know, like you're saying, in North Indio, there's been a lot of development going on down there. But I think the downtown area, well, to me, that's my district as well. So we're definitely focusing on that and how to bring more community
bring
events
it back to
down
life,
there.
'cause
Yeah.
the IPAC and all that stuff used to be kind of a hub. Now it's
And there's some good events coming up too. So like even this Saturday, we're gonna have the Women Rising event down there at the IPAC. So it should be dope. And
what's
then
that event about?
That one, I think they're gonna have a lot of different women artists come in and do performances or like poetry and stuff like that.
Oh, that sounds
and giving away like
interesting.
awards to like women that have been doing a lot of work in the community out here.
Okay.
Should be pretty good. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be there. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
Check it out.
I didn't know about it, to be honest, but if it's this Saturday, you said?
Yeah.
So if you guys are watching this Saturday, go support the local events, because that's one thing. I've been doing more little vlogs around local events. I want to just show people that you could have fun in the valley, because there's a lot of negativity with people just saying the valley is boring or there's nothing to do here. But there's so much to do. It's just sometimes we don't hear about it.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need to do a little better
promoting, marketing. Yeah, but also I think it's also, you know, putting those opportunities out there as a city government. Like that's our place too, right? Yeah. Not just telling people that they should shop here, but, you know, make them want to shop here.
Yeah,
right?
give them an incentive. You know, like hey, this is going on. And what's the plans for like the Indio Mall? I know there's something going on there too as well.
Right now, we just got into an exclusive negotiation agreement with the Hagen company, so that they're going to be working on contracts to see like what they can do with it right now. Yeah.
Okay, because I know that one could use some help too.
Yeah. No, they seem. I mean, if you go in there now, it's already a lot cleaner than it used to be. You know,
and that's what I'm saying. That's
starting to fill up little spaces here and there.
Yeah, they're starting to do different things. That's what I was asking, because also there were some rumors a couple years ago that they got bought out by some company, or some company was trying to do something with it, and probably not go to a traditional mall, because I know malls, they're kind of closing down. Even the Palm Desert Mall, there's a lot of shops closing down now, just because of online retailers like Amazon taking all the...
Yeah, we're gonna have to definitely step up our game a little bit, especially with the online retail.
Yeah, make it like you said, a hub of not just for shopping, but kind of like a community.
Yeah, and that's what I hear a lot from marketing people now, that they're saying people are looking for the experience. You know, now it's not just about buying your thing and leaving. You
want hangout spots.
Yeah, you want somewhere where you could experience and your family can go out and enjoy the day. You know, spend some time out there and not just be at home. You know?
No, yeah, because it's only boring if you're just at home watching Netflix all the time. You get bored of that, you know.
Yeah.
And what's have you guys talked about like the homeless problem and stuff? Because how we're talking about the one-stop shop, behind it there's a lot of tents of homeless people. Yeah. And they're always around there because of the mission and stuff. And do you guys have anything in plan for that?
Yeah, that's one of our study sessions that's coming up as well. And we're looking, I mean, right now I'm coming in new, you know, so I'm looking at everybody, listening to everybody's opinion, you know, what do they think, what do they need, or, you know, what is which direction do they want to go in, what's the rescue mission offering, and even, I have a friend who's homeless now, and just talking to him and seeing, like,
his perspective.
He doesn't know about the programs at the mission, you know, or, like, he doesn't know that he can get Medi-Cal, or he doesn't know that he can get where he can get service, or he had a tooth infection the other day, and we had no idea where we could take him, so we're driving around, and people don't want to see him, and it was tough, man. It's tough seeing, like, the reality that they live in.
No, yeah, because I actually worked there as a cashier for about 18 months.
Where
at the one-stop shop.
Oh, yeah.
So it's tacos, but it's also a gas station. Yeah. So there's so many homeless. A lot of our clients are homeless people, and that is just, you can't, I don't want to say get rid of them, because a lot of them do cause trouble. Most of them are good. Most of them don't do anything bad. They just want to get their drink and leave. But we have problems, like they'll be really drugged out outside, disturbing the customers, or we tell them to not do something. We've had 2 break-ins where they just break our windows, like in the middle of the night, just drop a rock, and then one time some guy went in to steal. All he stole was like two beers, and they broke a $900 door for 2 beers. They didn't steal money, they didn't steal cigarettes. They just like broke it in for that. So I have some experience like on the personal business side, but most of them are good people though.
Yeah, there's a lot of families out there, a lot of single mothers out there with kids and everything living in those camps, and I think that's where we got to step. You know, when we one of the issues that keeps or ideas that keeps coming up is the tiny homes, right? Building tiny homes where people can stay. I think that's a really good idea because it's a way. So a lot of these dangers are because you're living in a tent and you got a single woman out there, and there's a lot of predators out there as well. So having somewhere where they can at least lock a door, makes that community so much safer.
Exactly.
And where they can leave their property, because right now you see people, dragging their property all around the city. If they're going to use the restroom or something, they got to leave it out, and now it can get robbed. They don't have nowhere to eat.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest problems. Like you said, having somewhere secure with your stuff, because it looks bad to have somebody carrying like those carts full of stuff, but they have no other option. They can't just leave the stuff, and if they want to go to the other side of town, they have to carry everything with them. And it's a really messed up situation, but we just have to, like you said, tiny homes could be a and the rescue mission does have a great program too. And Martha's, they're doing a lot too, but you still see there's overflows. There's still overflows, and one of my friends, she got elected to the Desert Healthcare District, and she was saying that right now we have the biggest homeless population in the county. Oh, really?
And so, like, a lot of times we see in politics, people say, well, India's doing so much, compared to everybody else. That we have the 2 shelters here, and we have, that we're attracting more homeless. But to me, it's like, well, even if, still nobody else is taking charge. They are, other cities are working on it, but there's still so much work to do. We can't deny that. There's still a huge problem. So we can't just stop because we're doing more than another town.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, the problem's still there. We still gotta keep at it.
Yeah. So, are you guys getting support from other cities as well to deal with the homeless people?
Financially, I'm not sure. But I think there are other people that probably donate to the missions, but I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, because is there even other missions besides Indio here in the valley?
No, I think they used to have one in Palm Springs, Roy's, off the freeway, but that one wasn't really working. Because they put it
just coming here.
They put it all the way out there by the freeway, so people couldn't even get there.
So you have to make it accessible too.
Yeah, and that's an issue you have too. When you try to put it in the community, and people say, "Well, we don't want to hear you," and then you put it outside the community, and then people aren't going to go there. For sure. Because I mean, maybe that's why one of the spots there, because there's a lot of shops around for them to buy food or necessities and stuff that they need. Yeah, but we do. Yeah, there's so much. That's definitely one of the most difficult issues to tackle right now.
That's crazy.
It's so complicated. There's all kinds of different people out there too. So a lot of times people want to blanket, all into one group and saying, oh, well, they're all this or they're all that or they all.
It's way more complicated than
it's way more
just one label.
You got to treat everybody individually, just like we like to be treated individually, so do they, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
Because they all can have different issues as well, and it's sometimes the drugs or their addictions get the best of them.
Like my friend, everybody thinks that he's on drugs, but he doesn't do drugs. He's never been on drugs.
Sometimes you just get a family emergency, something happens. You never know what could happen, and especially most Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Yeah. So one bad injury could put you behind, and it's
getting to be more and more people just like me and you, out there, especially with the housing prices. I mean, we can't deny that that's linked to homelessness, right?
Yeah.
When we see those prices coming up, so that's one of the things that when we were campaigning as well, that was our main issue. How do we bring affordable housing to Indio?
Exactly.
That's also one of our next study sessions coming up.
That's a good topic because man, like for a while I wanted to start looking, maybe buy my first property, whatever. But man, it's so expensive. It's like, is it even worth it right now? And it looks like it just keeps going up. And
so
up
risky, and it just keeps getting worse.
And then this city is one of the highest, fastest growing cities in California, right?
Yeah.
Indio.
Yeah.
I saw some, I don't know, it was just a little banner they had at the Indio Tamale Festival.
Yeah.
There was a little stand that said Indio is one of the fastest growing cities in California. And it makes sense if you look at the whole north side of the valley where it just keeps growing with Sun City, Shadow Hills.
Yeah. And just at the last council meeting, I was bringing that up because we had our housing report, right?
Yeah.
And so the housing report showed that, affordable housing unit building permits that were given this past year was for above a median income, above average income, we had over 600 homes being built.
Damn.
And that was it. There was nothing else. It was 4 here and 600 here,
That's crazy.
And you see that difference. So you're like, we can't just leave this up to the market, when we see our residents being priced out of their homes and everything, and we're elected by our residents, we're being paid to work for them.
Exactly.
You know,
And it's
not just for tax money. We're not here to generate more taxes. That's one of the ways that you do it, right? But we still have to prioritize our residents.
Yeah, because it's not fair for the people that have been here the longest. You get all these people coming in, now you're getting displaced and stuff. And what made you pick Stanford? You just decided to?
I didn't even know Stanford was on this side of the country at first. For real, I thought it was like on the East Coast somewhere. Like, I had no idea.
You heard it was like a school, but you didn't know it was that?
Yeah, I really only knew about USC, you know, because they would come out with the football games and everything. They were a private school and they were closed. I just always figured, you know, I'd try to get into USC, and I did, and I got like a little scholarship there where they're going to be paying half my tuition and everything. But Leonhard and a few other teachers, they were like, apply to Stanford, see if you can get in. I had like waivers, you know.
Yeah.
We'll apply, see what's up, you know, just see, you know. And we applied it, and I got accepted. And I remember me and Mom like opening it up, and we're like, well, that's cool, you know. It's like $200,000. Like we don't got the money, you know. We just put it away. Like, and that was it. And this guy called me to the counselor's office, and he said that he was like, "Oh, are you coming? Like, congratulations. Are you coming to Stanford?" I was like, "Nah, man, I ain't got no money, you know." I was like, "I wish I could." And he was like, "What are you talking about? Like, you didn't read the financial aid package? Like, it's all paid for."
Oh, damn. So you got
like,
four, right?
Yeah, tuition, like housing, food, like they covered everything. So they had this new policy that just started that year. Actually, the year I applied, it started, and they would read your application without reading your income. And if you got accepted, when your income, you know, came out, if it was, I think it was under $60,000 for your household, they would pay everything.
Oh, damn, that's awesome.
So it was pretty dope. And, you know, I got lucky. It was the first year that got implemented.
Yeah. So
and also the only year that guy from Coachella worked in admissions for their office. That was the only year he worked there. Yeah.
Oh, so that's why he called you, because he was local?
Yeah, he was local, so he called me up to let me know.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so, you know, without him, I probably would have missed out on a free education at Stanford, you know, but he took that extra step to, you know, make sure that I knew what was going on.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I got real lucky.
Once you're going to consider going anywhere else, do you have full ride for other schools too, or just Stanford?
I think like a few of the UCs, but Stanford, like everybody, once I got accepted, everybody was like, you better go. Yeah.
How's your experience in college there?
It was good, man. It was really good. Like, even just coming in freshman years, a lot of different people from all over the world, you know, meeting there, and they're all smart and they're all into, you know, politics and science and everything. Yeah. And we're all just kind of pushing each other to the next level.
Yeah, you're just competing with each other.
Yeah, it was real cool though. You know, every you know, you'd be sitting down at lunch and there'd be a whole debate going on about like some war, like some, you know, new science coming up, and people would be going at it, but nobody ever really took it personal there, you know. Yeah. It was always a good conversation.
That's good, man. That you got to experience the whole side. Like, I never went to college or nothing. No. Well, just COD, but I mean, nothing compared to going to somewhere like Stanford. That's dope.
Yeah. The best part really was, like, meeting people from other cultures, other places of the world, you know, and just getting, you know, how do they see government? How do they see religion? How do they see, you know, poverty and all these other different issues, and learning from everybody else, you know. And giving our perspective too, because they had never known anybody from Indio. You know, I came in with a lowrider and everything, so they were like, "Yo, this is a whole different game that we're used to." Yeah,
it just caught them off guard, and you got to meet some cool people.
Yeah, definitely. I still still talk to a lot of them now. I just met with one of them yesterday. I got some friends coming down for Coachella Fest. They'll be staying at my place down there.
You going to Coachella this year?
I think so. I think we get some tickets from the city through the city.
Oh, so. That's cool. Yeah. You know, which weekend? Because I like to go weekend one, but
yeah, you gonna go this year?
Yeah.
Dope.
So on my YouTube channel, I have a lot of content about Coachella. So I've been growing it because I've been making videos about tips and tricks about how to go to the festival, how to save money at the festival, stuff like that. Like, I think I have over 32 videos just on tips on Coachella.
That's good, man. That's cool.
When I started making that content, there was nobody on YouTube making content about tips. It was all... The tips were only how do you do your makeup, how to like shop or get ready, like you know, like mostly women doing that stuff. Yeah. So I was like, you know what, I'm local. I've been to Coachella a lot of times. So I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna start making tip videos, and that's been actually growing my channel. And a lot of people just DMing me, oh, thank you, I'm learning this, and it feels cool to like just help out people.
Dang.
And that's one of the reasons too. I stopped doing content about movies and stuff because I realized I could help more people and other things. It could be giving tips about Coachella, and it's
more unique things or something.
Yeah, things that I have personal experience with, and it's something I like to go to like every year, especially since like you said, your friends are coming staying on your pad. I don't have to worry about how to get like somewhere to stay or the travel, the flights, like for people that come from other countries and stuff, it gets expensive. Here, the tickets are pricey, but at least you just only the ticket and I could come home and sleep here. You know? So I have that advantage.
Get somebody to pick you up there and everything. Yeah. It's always nice for sure.
So yeah, Coachella's pretty. I'm gonna be going on my 10th year already.
Oh wow.
10 years, 10 in a row. The first one I went to, it was because of the Indio Teen Center. So the first year the Indio Teen Center was open, I was a sophomore in high school, and I would go after school. Like whenever I didn't have football practice, I would go to the Teen Center. Cool. And then since I was always constantly going there, one day they got free tickets for all the students. They're like, "You guys want to go to Coachella?" And I was like, "Fuck, I'll take." I got 2 tickets for just a Friday though. It was only 1 day passes. And then I went with my sister just on a Friday, and I think I was 16 at the time. Yeah. And ever since then, I've been going every year. And, and I never thought about going there until I got thanks to the Indio Teen Center. So that's why, I love just community places like that. The Indio Teen Center, that was a pretty cool spot. I haven't been there in years, but do you guys do work with them?
Yeah, we still work with them.
Yeah. Yeah, because they do help. I mean. Yeah,
definitely. And they got the little studio in there and everything.
No, yeah, even then people were mixing and doing like their own songs. Even they have a little lounge with like video games, the basketball courts. They always held events too for like barbecues and stuff for the students and just learning different things. Like I don't know what kind of programs they run right now, but back then it was like that.
I think they got boxing now too, right? I think they have boxing.
Oh, now. I think they added like a little boxing thing.
Yeah, I gotta go take a tour again because I haven't been there.
No, I mean I haven't been there either, but yeah, man, I'm probably gonna go there and just thank them. They got me into Coachella.
That's awesome. Making
Coachella content. I got a message from this guy who's doing a documentary for Coachella. Since I've been making content, he wants me to come on. They're gonna do like little interviews and stuff and do like a highlight video. I was like, oh damn, they hit me up, and I was like, I applied for a media pass and they denied me. They're like, no.
Oh, that's whack.
Yeah, but I already had the ticket, but I just decided to like if I could take in my own camera and then do better quality film for the people.
Can you still take in your own camera and stuff?
So at Coachella they have a policy where you could take a camera, but it can be a detachable lens. So they don't want pro cameras basically. So if you just get a camera that's like super high quality that doesn't detach the lens, then you should be fine. But I mean, the phones do incredible work now.
Yeah, that's
you don't
true.
even need a camera anymore. Like the last couple of years, I haven't even taken a camera, just with my phone, record and then just transfer the files to the computer.
They upload it like that.
Yeah, so I mean, it's still cool. It'll be better to bring in a camera, but you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. Working what you got down there.
Yeah. So when you got back to the Valley a couple years ago, and then now that you're doing city council, or are you still doing anything else with the marijuana industry?
Yeah, I'm still in the cannabis industry. I'm still helping manage different facilities, making products for like different.
So companies. Just the growing facilities here, or
I'm more on the manufacturing side because I'm a chemist, so I work. With, I work with like the purification of it, extractions and
like breeding and all that stuff, or just
more like when the plant's done, like how do you make that into different medicines, you know? How do you make that into
don't make it go to waste, basically? Or
it's kind of like once the plant is finished growing and you cut it down and everything, like what are you going to do after that? If you're going to be like making it into a lotion, like how do you get there, right? Or if you're going to be making it into a massage oil or a tincture or a vape pen, like there's all these different avenues, right? So
wow, that's crazy. What's the coolest thing that involves around the job that you do?
I think the coolest thing was probably when I first started making my own products. So I was making like a massage oil. Yeah. And I saw like somebody's cancer tumor like start shrinking, skin cancer, and it started shrinking, and we were seeing like you could see it in the pictures. You know, we're like, oh, what's going on? And then we had this lady out here in Indio too who she had a stage 4 cancer. When I heard about her, I hadn't even met her, but we sent her some CBD and some THC drops. Right? And we sent both of them. And they had told her that she had 2 to 6 weeks to live, and she ended up gaining 50 pounds back, and like I think she ended up living about 15 months before she passed away. But she went from like being like in agonizing pain all day and like not being able to sleep, not being able to eat, to just like gaining back to her normal life and like being able to speak well again. And she almost started walking again. Like and seeing that, it was amazing. Like that really
just inspired you to keep going.
It really motivated me to keep going. You know, because a lot of times they make it seem like we're out here just like getting everybody high or something.
No, yeah. There's a negative stigma just with the older generation though, because like younger generation, it's really accepted now. Like I remember 10, 15 years ago when I was a kid, it was so demonized. Like people, if you smoke weed, it was like doing like heroin or something. Like people were really against it. And now that there's been more documentaries, more information, that it could be used for purposes like that, medicine, helping people that have illnesses. Of course, people are always going to be doing it for recreational reasons, but
and I think we do still have to warn people about like the risk of it, right? So like there is risk of addiction with anything, right? You could be addicted to alcohol, sugar, caffeine, and cannabis is one of those too. So you know, if you have somebody who's in deep depression and they're using it as a crutch, you know, to stay, it might get it could get to addiction.
No, it definitely, and you could be addicted to anything. But
that doesn't mean that we just throw it out, right? When it has all this potential, and we have to compare it to other medicines, right? So for me, like personally, I had the choice, you know, do I stay on muscle relaxants and 800 milligram ibuprofen that's going to mess up my stomach within a few years? Or do I go with cannabis, you know?
Because opioids and all that, so it's just a big industry, and people, like, it just accepts, just basically you accept all the over-the-counter drugs just because, they're FDA approved, whatever. And these alternative medicines that could actually help people without really damaging you as much as the other stuff. That's something we got to be looking at.
Especially it definitely has to be one of the options on the table, you know, especially for pain management, or like when we're looking at anxiety or other mental health issues too, with CBD helping.
And when you make like those creams, how what's the process? Like turning that into a cream. How do you guys do that?
The first way that I did it, because so when the plant starts off, you know, when you have the fresh plant, it's THC acid. You have to heat it to turn it to THC, and so those work differently. There's benefits to both of them actually. So they're looking
different benefits.
Yeah. So usually we've been studying THC for a long time, you know, but THC acid is still new in the game. So they're gonna start finding it. They already know it works as an anti-inflammatory, but we don't know what else it works for yet. So they're still going to be coming up, and then you have CBD on the other side too, you know. But the way that I was making the massage oils was at first I worked with one of the first companies to do distillation on cannabis. So the same way you know distill whiskey or distill oil, like we were distilling cannabis and purifying the THC. And at the end of the process, you would have something that's about 85-90% THC, and I would go and dissolve that into a cream, into coconut oil. That was my first one that I made, was just dissolving that distillate into coconut oil
to make it more into.
But it was, you know, a certain strength that I had, and I was making it stronger than almost like anybody out there. And that's how we started seeing like really good effects. And because I learned it from my grandmothers in Mexico. You know, they used to do it with alcohol, right? So they used to let it soak in alcohol, and the alcohol would absorb it, and then you would rub it on like that. And for me, it was like just thinking as a chemist, you know, what's going to absorb better into the skin, better than alcohol. And I thought like oil might do
some natural
better, right?
oils and stuff.
So I started using coconut oil for that, and it started working. You know, we were seeing that it was good absorption, and it's a good way to mix the cannabinoids, because cannabinoids are fatty. So fats dissolve fats, so you need something that's also fatty to be able to dissolve those cannabinoids.
That's really interesting. I really don't know much about the process, but that's dope.
It was real. I mean,
where do you do all this stuff at? You're here in the Valley?
Right now I'm working on a site out in Coachella.
Oh, the site in Coachella. So do you have like a lab there or what?
I work for somebody else right now, so I'm helping them manage their data mostly, and manage their processes and kind of track everything going on there. Lab.
That's crazy.
That's pretty cool. I love it.
That sounds so cool. Like I mean, like you said, I have no experience in making anything of it, but my grandma in Mexico, we send her like these creams from cannabis too, for arthritis and stuff. She's like 77. Actually, she's closer to 80 now. And she uses that, and every couple of months we send her some from here, just because in Mexico you can't buy it. And it's been helping her, just inflammation, better movements in the joints, and
that's good, man. We really need to like get people educated on how to use it, especially when you're not smoking it. You know, like we know what happens.
People think of marijuana as you can smoke, or like that, like you're just trying to get high, but there's just so many more benefits. And the more and more educated we get, like maybe in a national level, they could start also implementing, just legalizing it, because there's no point now that there's some states where it's legal, but other states you could get arrested. There's not even recreational in some states. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Do you know anything about like national policy out to?
It's so unpredictable right now. Yeah, I don't know where it's gonna end up. And I mean, we see a lot. I think it'll get there, you know, but who knows when, you know?
No, yeah, there's a lot of conservatives.
Yeah.
But it's just that negative stigma with everything.
Yeah.
How have like the cannabis laws in California affected those people that have crimes related to marijuana before?
I think certain cities are going back and expunging a lot of those convictions.
That's cool.
Yeah. I'm more just on the lab side, yeah.
You just on the chemistry. Heisenberg. You ever watch Breaking Bad?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Just you gotta grow your goatee, bro.
That's funny.
Now, so you make creams. What else do you do in those labs?
The other one that I like is making like tinctures. So when I started off, you know, this was 5 years ago. So
yeah.
You know, creams and tinctures and all this, it was big. You know, it was getting there, but there wasn't like real reliable products out there. So that's what we wanted to focus on. You know, on stuff that for people who couldn't smoke and needed to use it medically, and like low dosages too. So like the lady that we helped with stage 4 cancer, she was taking very small doses. So like where sometimes she wasn't even feeling the psychological effects of it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So and with that, she was still able to heal a lot, you know, with those really small doses. So we were looking at those tinctures, CBD. We were making CBD tinctures and THC tinctures, and then kind of just figuring it out. Like there's not a lot of research to it, you know, with dosing especially. So we really had to.
So you had to
have a close relationship with your patients to
really know how it would affect them. So
yeah.
It's not like mass production. Yeah, it's just more of an individual basis then.
Yeah, I was doing it like on a very small scale for sure,
mm-hmm.
and just finding patients to help out here. And one of our issues was, you know, nobody's going to be providing these to low income communities. Everybody's in here for the money. Yeah, a lot of it's always about it's for the money, right? And so that's
how you guys are focus is on that.
Yeah. Right now, I'm not running my own company, so
you're helping out with that.
But when I was managing my own things, that was the big focus: is how do we get these to people who need it in low income communities that can't afford to go to these shops,
or something, you know? To help them out,
because
it can get very pricey, especially when you can legal. The taxes on that it's extremely high.
Yeah. So right now, you know, the way I'm looking at it now is like our community can't afford to start a shop, right? It takes way too much money.
So how you said that it's really expensive. So are you guys looking to? Has anybody reached out to start a shop in Indio? Like
there's plenty of people that want to start shops in Indio.
And what would be a good location besides the money problems? Like where's the location that you guys looked at that can be done?
We haven't gotten even that far yet.
Because I know there's regulations where it can be close to a school or something like that. What are the laws?
That's what they're going to be explaining we have a consultant that's going to be coming in and explaining all the regulations to us and what options we have for like bringing different parts of the industry into it. I would like to see some delivery services because the startup costs will be smaller for our residents, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm really about how do we get locals to make that money, you know. We're not just looking for the jobs, like we really want ownership, right? And our residents want ownership. That's what they're looking at.
Yeah, like we were talking about, it just you don't want to. Everything's going to these other cities. It's cool. It's still in the valley, but you want it to be more focused on India, especially if you live here. You just want to see the community grow. Yeah. And it's just so cool that you guys are actually making change. And how long are you guys in office for? Like
how many? 4 years.
4-year terms, and then you guys for your election again, or?
Yeah.
And you guys could keep running or is it only 2 terms?
No, I think it's as long
as you keep running.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You guys better step up your game.
Yeah, for real. I think the guy that was there before us, the previous mayor, was there for about 20 years. On and off for
20 years.
He had served for 20 years. Yeah.
Also, even if you lose, you could rerun later. Or?
Yeah.
Oh,
for sure.
And what does one have to do to run? Just run.
Just got to get the votes. However you can get them.
That's cool.
But really, for us, it was we were really focusing on just the door knocking. You know, to just go old school.
No, I saw so many people promoting you, Oscar.
Social media definitely had us going. Cool. Yeah,
you guys hustled out there. There was a lot of people that we went to school with that I saw just helping you guys out. And, like
putting the word out there.
No, and how were the results? Did you guys win by a little bit? By
61%.
61%.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, because to be honest, I didn't really see others besides you guys just promoting. Yeah. Using today's ways to market yourself, you know, social media. It's so powerful and it's only gonna keep growing.
Yeah.
What do you guys have any like social media meetings or anything about social media as a city council?
As a city council right now, I think you mean social media like for the
No,
for the city?
just in general. Yeah, just for the city or to promote more events.
We're definitely
express
talking about
the word out whatever you guys are doing.
Yeah, they have a consulting company that they hire to do some of their marketing and social media and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But we are talking about like how to improve those methods as well. Yeah, and like getting locals involved in that too, right? So my big focus is always get the locals involved, man. They know, they have their hand on the pulse of the city out here. They know how to communicate with our people. They know what's going on. They know the issues, and they just get a better feel of if we're marketing to our city, we should have
just locals marketing and going to events, just promoting more events, and hopefully little by little we just keep growing and people stop complaining. you're never gonna stop. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's just they're never gonna be happy. And what are you guys doing? As far as like the valley, do you know anything that's going on with the Salton Sea?
You know what? I actually just met up with somebody from Eddie Garcia's his office.
Yeah,
Ruben Perez, who just got elected to the COD board, and he gave me some updates for it to read, but I haven't gotten to read them yet. Okay. I'm on it. Yeah, it's on my list.
Just let me know now.
Yeah,
because now I keep hearing like that's just gonna keep shrinking and shrinking, and it could potentially create a dust bowl that's just gonna affect the whole valley. And
I think it's already affecting us, right? Like the exposed playa that they said.
Oh yeah,
that's rising up now because of how much pollution we had before, right? So they used to
just dump everything.
The agricultural waste going into there had a lot of pesticides, and they probably used to dump a lot of stuff in there too. The government used it as like a test site for like weapons and stuff. So there's a lot of stuff you don't want coming back into the air right now.
No, definitely.
But yeah, it's a really complicated issue.
No, yeah.
Like because even like just for example, one of the things they're saying is bring in water from the Gulf. So at first when I heard that, it's like it's salt water, right, coming from the Gulf. So it's less salty than the Salton Sea, but it still has salt. So you're gonna bring in more salt, and then as the water evaporates, it leaves the salt behind.
Yeah.
That's why it's getting more and more concentrated. But they're saying that part of that plan is also desalination. So that's what I want to look at. Like, what is the plan for desalination?
Yeah, just like how California's in a drought. Like, we don't have. I remember one of our professors said we don't have a water problem. We have a salt problem because California's on the coast. If we somehow able to mass produce just desalination of water, we could have so much water to all the Southern California area that just they're dealing with all the drought.
Yeah, but on the other side too, like I always think, if we keep just extracting more and more resources from our planet, like that's not always the best solution either, right? Like we need to reduce our use as well. Like we are definitely overusing water, right? So that's why we have to bring in so much water from like, the canal.
Especially if you lived in Mexico, you know how over there you don't have the, I guess you want to say privilege or something of just running water 24/7, because over there you have to collect it. And some days you might not have water, or when you shower, you have to put it in buckets or stuff like that.
Heat it up on the stove and everything.
Yeah, or else cold showers,
Yeah.
So it's like, so I know that perspective from Mexico. So a lot of people here just shower, freaking leave it off 20 minutes until it gets hot, and get in 40-minute showers, and just every drop counts, Yeah. And I know there's some people that say it doesn't matter because it's only like our great grandchildren are gonna deal with the consequences.
Well, that's a big deal too, right? Like we should care about our great grandchildren.
Have you seen there's a meme of Michael Jordan was like, "Fuck them kids." It's just people always like put whenever there's something about the environment, like those like doomsday articles are saying that the world's gonna end by like 2030 or 2050. People are always like, "Fuck them kids." Like, by then I'm gonna be done. Like, whatever.
I remember hearing like this. There was a saying. It was something like that. We never own the land. Like we shouldn't see anything as ours. Like everything on Earth, we're borrowing from the future generations.
Yeah.
Because we're not keeping none of this.
That's true.
Like this is all stuff that we're borrowing, and we have to upkeep it so that the next generations have it as well.
Yeah, so
we shouldn't think of anything as like, oh, well, this is my land, or this is ours, and we're
gonna use
this. Like, no.
You wanna, like they say, leave the world a better place than you inherited when you started. So yeah, definitely we definitely need to look more at conservation, and there's a lot of waste, and we take it for granted. And like you said, we might not see it because we're just here temporarily, but man, If you think about,
we're seeing it already, right? Like
no,
we
yeah,
see all the effects of everything that we're doing. We see the big piles of plastic in the ocean, and the plants in the ocean, the coral reefs that are dying
they're
off,
dying.
Species dying off. It's like,
yeah, there was
more.
there was an article I saw recently. It was
Yeah.
a whale that got they
Oh, I saw that one. 80 pounds.
80 pounds of plastic in his stomach or something like that. I was like,
ridiculous,
damn,
man.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
And that's just one that we see. What about the ones that just sink down, or all the like little fish, even the birds, like just they're eating plastic, and little by little we're just killing the ecosystem, and we don't even know what those effects are going to be like 10, 15 years in the road when.
And right now, federally, we're seeing that they're taking off restrictions for producing or dumping and all this stuff. We're seeing we're going the other way. It's
exactly.
Like, what are we doing?
But also the world, because I know there's other countries that just waste. They just
yeah.
dump everything to the ocean. Like we're actually in the U.S. we're a little better than other countries, but it's just as a species, we need to just be more accountable. And what is your take? Because I know we have all these like government programs and Elon Musk trying to go to Mars. But I think we should be focusing on fixing our current planet as well. Yeah, it's cool to colonize different worlds in 100 years from now, but we got to fix the planet that we're on right now.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the way we should be focusing on our technology and resources.
Actually, I went to a solar energy conference recently, and it actually gave me a lot of like hope from seeing like all the advances that are happening right now in the solar energy industry.
Do you guys talk more about solar here in the valley? Because I mean, if we get sun like 80% of the year.
I think we definitely need to
implement more
for sure. And we're looking at ways to work with different organizations and how do we get it to low income communities too, right? Because that initial cost. But there are programs. So one of the people I met at that conference was Grid Alternatives, and they have a program where they use tax incentives from the federal government and the state governments and everything, and they make it so that they're giving low income people free solar panels, pretty much.
Wow,
just
that's
free.
awesome.
There's no cost at all to the patients.
Yeah, it should be like that if you're helping out.
And there is some work with, from what I know, somebody is working with them on a project here in Indio, but I'm still got to figure out what that actually is. Yeah. So I'm going to be setting up a meeting. So
what else did you see at the solar conference that gave you hope?
One of the guys there was the guy who built the first all-solar home. The first home that was
just runs 100% solar.
Yeah, that was like 40 years ago or something.
Oh shit!
And he was there, and he was talking about all these different buildings that they've done since then. And it's not just creating energy; it's also how do you
store it.
Storage too. That is actually the biggest issue they said right now.
Storage,
battery
because of
storage.
the cloudy days and stuff too. Because you gotta make
that
sure you have energy.
That too, and the price for the batteries. Right now the price is so high, but they were saying that right now it's reducing about 50% each year, the price for batteries. So it's going down, we're getting there. And they're saying it's kind of flipped already. It's gotten to the point where it is more economically affordable to go solar.
Yeah.
And they're saying that's what was one of the most encouraging things, right? To see
if you want, I mean, if they tell you you're going to lower your bills, your energy bill and all that, and you're helping the environment, and you're just building your house for the future, that should definitely encourage more people to start looking at solar options.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of solar companies here in the valley. I don't know how the prices and stuff are, but I've been seeing a lot of different companies here.
Yeah, we're getting there.
So solar energy, and then what about like not solar cars, just like self-driving cars and all that stuff for the future that's gonna... Have you ever thought about... Have you seen the new policies by Andrew Yang, the guy that's running for president? I
just heard about him today, actually.
Oh, really? Yeah, like I saw this interview he had where he talks about 10, 15 years from now, all the truck drivers, all the Uber taxi drivers, cashiers, telecommunications people, like 2-3 million people that would do that job. So it's like probably like 20-30% of all jobs, they're all going to be automated by machines. So like self-driving cars, self-checkout, stuff like that. So man, that's kind of scary because a lot of people, especially with malls closing down, and where's all those jobs going to come from? Like that's kind of scary.
Yeah, definitely. Good thing is we do have a lot of hospitality jobs, and robots can't do that yet. So.
No, he was talking about in the interview where, if you need a plumber, a robot's not going to be your plumber. If you need an electrician, the robot is most likely a person, because it's harder for them to build an AI that
fits everything,
that fits into this home or your home, So maybe more practical trades. That's what people
Trade
need to be
schools.
focused on.
I just took a tour of the CET out in Coachella. They do like the HVAC training, and they do the plumbing. They do like they do like you're able to learn a lot of different trades there, and they help you find financial aid for it and everything too.
Yeah, that should be an option more people look for.
We'll be posting up some information on that pretty soon.
Yeah, because college does help and stuff, but right now it's just. If you got to look.
They're probably gonna make more money than I make right now.
No, for sure. It's just you go to college, you get these degrees, and then they even said some medical professions where certain surgeries might be better with a robot doing it than
they
humans.
just got a robot at JFK.
There's for us.
Yeah, they just got their first one there.
Yeah, so that's now. Imagine 10, 15 years from now. That's even back then. You're like, oh, I'm gonna be a doctor. I'm set. But now, if you know that the robot's 100% precise with the movements, there's no shake, there's no sweat, there's nothing. It just does its job. Like some doctors and radiology, all that stuff might be not practical 15 years from now.
Yeah,
and it's scary. I mean, it's scary to think about, but we still have time until then.
I was listening to this one thing where they were saying that back in the day, people thought that we would be chilling by now, that we'd be working like 3 hours a day. Because of automation, because of all this increase in production, right? That we're able to produce so much faster that people were going to be able to relax. The opposite's happened, right? Like we're still working like crazy, and we're producing a lot more, but people are still getting the same wages, right?
Yeah. So, man, it's just the cost of living, and our wages aren't going up. So it's kind of making it harder for just low income families and people that struggle with that stuff. With automation, hopefully, Andrew Yang, he's proposing like a universal basic income, which is
to help. I haven't really looked at that.
So he basically explains how he calls it the Freedom Dividend. I guess he said it tested better with people, like instead of saying universal basic income, Freedom Dividend, because freedom, and you if you're a citizen of this country, you should be getting a dividend to get paid. So it's $1,000 a month for every citizen, no questions asked. There's no restrictions. You can spend it however you want. And he says most of that money is going to come from the big tech companies that are going to benefit from all the automation. So Amazon shipping out millions and millions of packages. Amazon, Netflix paid zero in taxes last year, even though they had record numbers in sales, because our system allows them to just invest more into their company, and now they don't have to pay taxes, and even though they're making more money.
Yeah, so people give them tax incentives to come to their city, right?
Exactly,
so they can employ
stuff
all
like
the
that.
residents.
So what he's proposing, you tax the big corporations. They're going to benefit from all the automation, and $1,000 a month for most people is super beneficial. Like, it's not going to make you quit your job, but if you're getting $1,000 a month, maybe that covers your rent and takes like the stress off your back. Or somebody that's super low income, $1,000 a month could mean getting better nutrition for your children, better schooling, after school programs, stuff like that. Or maybe pursue a small business, and you start a small business, everybody in your community is gonna be getting the $1,000, so maybe they could afford to buy whatever business you have. So that's kind of like his proposal, and most of the money is going to come from taxing the big corporations, and Amazon and them, they have an incentive too. If you know all these people are going to be getting a little more money from your taxes, they're going to be spending it on Amazon products, so it also helps them to just sell more products. So they make a very good case, and he's most likely not going to win because it's a pretty loaded field for the Democrats. But the universal basic income, like if you listen to the Joe Rogan podcast he had, that one, he explains everything, and Joe Rogan was trying to like counter every point he made, but he had an answer for everything
he was
based on facts.
Nice.
He's literally running on. He says he's not right or left, but he's forward without like attacking, without anything but Trump, like how the other candidates are doing. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. You should definitely.
I'll check him out. Yeah, I'll see his debates. He's
actually he raised 65,000 individual donors recently, so he's going to be in the debates in I think June or July.
Oh, nice.
So he was able to do it by just people.
No party.
He's Democrat, but he was funded by 100% by the people. Like he didn't talk to nobody because of the same reason. He says he wants to take democracy back, like help out the people for the future, not deal with AI. Like because the reason he started running is because he was asking like local politicians, similar to how you were asking about different policies and no one was giving you a chance. He was telling them like, AI is accelerating too fast. It's going to take our jobs and stuff. And they're like, we can't talk about it right now, or we'll talk about it later. But the way he was looking at the statistics, like if we talk about it later, it's going to be too late. And then you ever watch like Terminator?
Yeah.
And, like Skynet and all that shit.
Yeah.
So he was talking about the Skynet's not gonna be robots walking on the streets like taking over. It's just automation taking over, you know. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, things have already changed so much, right, since we were little and everything. I went to a school the other day, and they had the kindergartners doing, like, coding, making, like, different animations and everything. I was like...
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I remember, well, when, yeah, like, elementary school, they were teaching us how to use a computer. I remember that, like, Word, Microsoft Word, and how to type.
I remember they used to give us a piece of paper with the keyboard printed on it, and we were supposed to learn how to type on that. I told the girl that at the school, she just started laughing.
I saw some people talking about kids like they tell the truth, but they don't really know. They'll be like, "Oh, back in the day, that you guys used to watch YouTube videos in black and white, or how was it?" Like, it's crazy. I recently talked at elementary school in Coachella.
Oh, cool.
It was career day. Someone they asked me to go do a presentation about YouTube. I was like, yeah, I'm down. So I went to the school and I was just teaching them like, oh, YouTube started. My first video I uploaded in 2007, and then all these kids weren't even born in 2007. They were all born like 2011 or 2010 or something. And I was like, they didn't even know that YouTube was around back then. They thought it was like a newer thing. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just teaching them that they could do YouTube and stuff. Of course, focus on school because you do need like regular school, but we have so many more options like YouTube, social media, just in general, trade schools. Like there's so many.
Yeah, different industries coming up all the time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe we just need people to be more creative and let the robots do all the mundane jobs that we don't want.
Yeah, we'll see. It's probably gonna have to be a balance, right? And like implementing stuff slowly so that we don't just leave people out there with no jobs or nothing like that.
Yeah, because he also brought in a statistic how people say like, oh, let's teach them how to do like coding or something to code the robots. But he was saying that the average truck driver is like a 56-year-old like white male. Like a 56-year-old's not gonna learn how to code or something. Like it's super hard for them.
Yeah,
most truck drivers, they maybe just have a high school education or stuff like that, and we're not. According to statistics, we're not really great at reteaching people new jobs. Like ones that've been doing something for 20 years to teach them a new trade.
At that age, yeah.
Yeah.
I trained at my last lab. I trained construction workers to be the chemists.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they were like doing the distillation process and everything.
Do you have any more programs coming up, or how does?
For them? Yeah. Like for what they did? No, that was just like within our company.
Oh, okay.
And we were teaching them.
That's cool. Let me know in the next one.
Yeah.
I want to learn that stuff. That sounds
we definitely want to do some kind of like community education type of stuff, so that people know like.
Yeah, maybe we could work with something, and we'll go take some photos, videos with Gato, and make a vlog about it. Just help out people. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna be working on right now. Coming up is just a lot of vlogs. So that community event you said this Saturday, I'll probably be there. Make a video about it. Involve people, whoever's there. Give them a little voice, a platform. Just be more creative here in the Valley, and just help out as many people as I can. Hopefully encourage more people too, just because the more the better. You know, you could always do more. So that pretty much wraps it up for today. Oscar, thank you for coming, man.
Thank you.
It was definitely a good, and you're always welcome to come back, like whenever more stuff's happening, or just send me up.
Yeah, we'll give you some updates.
I'll bring you guys some updates of all the policies we talked today.
No, thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time.
No, thank you for coming on. Just it was pretty cool. We met at the City Food Truck event.
Yeah.
Let's check out that video. He had a little talk about with Gato and stuff. So, yeah, where could people reach you if social media or?
Yeah, social media. We're on Instagram. Oscar for Indio.
Oscar for Indio. You've probably seen him if you're listening to this. You're from Indio. You've probably seen his stuff going around when he was running for office. So it's pretty good that you guys are doing changes and just trying to make Indio better. Make Indio great again. That's nice. Now, I thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a like. And see you guys next time.
Peace.